Very good morning, guys. Myself, L.K. Tripathi here. Dear students, we shall discuss about History Chapter 8, that is Religious Beliefs and Popular Movement. This chapter will enable us to know much more about the religious belief prevalent in the medieval period during the different kings' reign. Now let's get started. How important is the role is of education in the realization of one's goal? Think and answer. You have to think and answer it properly. Akbar was a great ruler, but we all know that he was uneducated. No doubt, he was not educated, but he was a popular ruler. The entire world knew about his life, his achievements, his ambitions, his goals. All such types of facts are mentioned in different records. In this chapter, you will study about different religious philosophers, some of whom stress on education and knowledge of the Vedas and Upanishads as crucial to the attainment of enlightenment. In your opinion, what will happen if there is stress on education as the most important factor for religious and spiritual enlightenment? What are they? All these things we shall find through this discussion, and we will get much more information about that. The medieval period of Indian history was marked by a fusion of numerous cultural streams, new religious ideas and beliefs, along with the emergence of religious teachers who emphasized intense devotion to God. As we saw in the earlier chapter, Hinduism assimilated many tribal groups into its fold. New mythologies, cults, and religious rituals resulting from the symbolic relations between the Hindus and the tribal groups led to the emergence of Puranic Hinduism. In fact, the incorporation of local deities and cults reflects the assimilative character of Puranic Hinduism. The Mahapuranas, from which this stand of Hinduism derives its name, embody the various elements of Puranic Hinduism. The Bhakti movement and Sufism were the two other popular religious movements that gained in importance during this period. These new ideas affected the religious ideologies, beliefs, rituals, and cults of Hinduism and Islam. The Bhakti movement The term bhakt derived from the Sanskrit word bhaj refers to devotion to a supreme entity with exceptional power of or knowledge. Any meditation between the worshipper and God by priest was excluded. The progression of the Bhakti ideology by saints as hymns or couplets included social participation, religious equality, and liberal ideas. The origin of the Bhakti movement can be traced back to the Brahmanical and Buddhist traditions of ancient India. Ancient texts like the Upanishads, Vedas, and the Bhagavad Gita speak of devotion to one supreme God. The socio-economic milieu of the period led to the emergence of the Bhakti movement. The increase in demand for manufactured goods resulted in more migration of traders, craftspeople, peasants, and artisans to cities. These artisans were attracted to the Bhakti movement due to its assimilative character, rejection of the caste system, and complex rituals added to the popularity of this movement. The poetic compositions by saints like Kabir, Guru Nanak, Tulsidas, or Chaitanya also questioned the oppression of the common people by local kings and the higher caste. The Bhakti movement surfaced in South India and was disseminated by the Alvars and the Nanas. They disregarded religious austerities and preached personal devotion to God as a route to salvation. The Alvars were devotees of Vishnu or Vaishnavite, while the Nayanars were devotees of Shiva or Saivite. A preacher of the Bhakti movement in South India could belong to any caste. Similarly, people from any caste could join the order. There were human saints too. They went from one place to another, composing exquisite poems in praise of deities enshrined in the villages and set them to music. These saints were popular with the masses because they preached in local languages such as Tamil, Kannada, and Telugu. Their teachings were simple and easy. Adi Shankaracharya, born into a poor yet pious Brahmin family in Kerala, Shankaracharya is remembered as one of the first Hindu thinkers who conducted a re-examination and reformation of the Vedic philosophy. As a young boy, he showed a high degree of scholarship by mastering the four Vedas. His teachings laid stress on the significance of Upanishadic knowledge in the attainment of God. Thus, his philosophy is also known as Vedanta. He laid the foundation of four mathas or monastic centers at Sringeri, Dwarka, Dwarkapuri, Dwarkapuri and Jyotirmath with the aim of propagating his philosophy. Ramanuja, the Vaishnava saint Ramanuja, born in Tamil Nadu in the 11th century, was one of the key proponents of Bhakti philosophy. He believed in the equality of all human beings and spoke against the practice of forbidding lower caste entry into temples. Ramanuja preached the doctrine of Vishishtvaidya or qualified oneness, that the soul, even when united with the Supreme God, remain distinct. Madhvacharya, born in the village of Udipi in Karnataka, Madhvacharya closed the path of renunciation and monastic life at a young age. He established 8 mathas to further develop and praise his philosophy. According to him, a person's caste was contingent upon his or her nature and not upon birth into a particular family. He also taught that devotion to God was of prime importance in one's life. That's all. Rest we shall discuss in the next video tomorrow, and we shall find a lot of information about the chapter that will be the Veer Shaivas and other religious philosophers. Till then, thank you.